Admiral Thane Executor pressed his scaled fingers against his temple, trying to ease the throbbing headache that had plagued him for the past 72 hours. The Imperial Command Center on Kepler Station buzzed with frantic activity, a stark contrast to the usual ordered efficiency that had defined the Galactic Empire for centuries. "Status report on the Terra incident," he growled to his aide, Captain Vex. Vex's mandibles clicked nervously as she consulted her datapad. "Sir, we've lost contact with 14 additional scouting fleets in the past week. All were investigating human-controlled systems in the outer spiral arm." 14? Thane's voice rose to a dangerous pitch. "How is that possible? Humans barely achieved faster than light travel 50 years ago." The holographic display at the center of the command deck showed the galactic map, with red warning markers scattered across what had once been considered safe Imperial territory. Each marker represented a lost fleet, a mystery that grew more terrifying with each passing hour. "Sir," interrupted Lieutenant Zorb from the communications station, "we're receiving an emergency transmission from the 3rd Expeditionary Force. They're requesting immediate reinforcements in the Vega system." "Put it through," Thane ordered. The image that materialized above the holoprojector made Thane's blood run cold. Fleet Commander Nexus appeared battered and exhausted, the bridge of his flagship clearly damaged. Emergency lighting flickered behind him, and the sound of alarms could be heard in the background. "Admiral Executor," Nexus gasped, "we need immediate evacuation. The humans, they have ships we've never seen before, ships that aren't in any of our databases." "Calm yourself, Commander," Thane replied, though his own voice betrayed his growing anxiety. "Explain the situation." Nexus wiped purple blood from a gash on his forehead. "We detected what appeared to be a small human transport vessel approaching our position. Standard cargo configuration, minimal energy signatures. We moved to intercept for routine inspection when..." The transmission flickered, filled with static. "Commander Nexus, repeat your last transmission," Thane barked. When the image stabilized, Nexus's eyes were wide with terror. "Admiral, it wasn't a cargo ship. The moment our weapons locked onto it, the vessel changed. The hull reconfigured itself, revealing weapon systems that don't match any known human technology. It's like they've been disguising advanced warships as civilian vessels." "That's impossible," Captain Vex whispered. "Our intelligence networks have monitored human shipbuilding for decades. They lack the industrial capacity for..." "Admiral," Nexus's voice cut through Vex's analysis. "It's here. The ship is approaching our position, and dear gods, it's not showing up properly on our scanners. The readings keep changing." On the tactical display behind Nexus, Thane could see a vessel that defied classification. One moment, it appeared as a small civilian transport. The next, it registered as a massive battlecruiser. Then as something else entirely, something that made their sensors throw error messages. "What's its configuration?" Thane demanded. "That's just it, sir. Our computers can't decide what they're looking at. The ship appears to be multiple different vessels simultaneously. Our targeting systems are going haywire." Suddenly, the lights on Nexus's bridge went out completely. In the darkness, only the commander's voice could be heard. "Admiral, the human vessel is hailing us." "Put it through," Thane ordered, though every instinct told him this was a mistake. A new voice joined the transmission, calm, measured, distinctly human. "Imperial forces, this is Captain Maya Chen of the Terran Defense Ship Paradox. You have 30 seconds to withdraw from this system." Thane stepped forward, drawing himself to his full height. "This is Admiral Thane, Executor of the Galactic Empire. You will surrender your vessel for inspection or face the consequences." Captain Chen's laugh was soft and utterly without fear. "Admiral, I suggest you check your database for any record of my ship." "Captain Vex," Thane snapped, "run a full scan on the vessel designation Paradox." Vex's fingers flew across her console, her expression growing more confused by the second. "Sir, there's no record of any human ship by that designation. In fact, according to our intelligence, humans don't have any ships capable of operating in this sector." "That's because you've been looking in the wrong dimension," Chen replied, somehow having heard their private conversation. "The paradox doesn't exist in your reality most of the time." On the display, Thane watched in horror as the mysterious ship began to multiply. First one vessel, then two, then dozens. Each one slightly different from the others, but all bearing the same impossible energy signature. "Temporal mechanics," Chen continued conversationally. "My ship exists across multiple timeline possibilities simultaneously. You're seeing every potential configuration of the paradox that could exist in this moment." "Impossible," Thane breathed. 20 seconds, Admiral," Chen said. Nexus's voice crackled through the static. "Sir, our entire fleet is being surrounded. There are hundreds of them now, and they're all reading as the same ship." Thane felt sweat beading on his scaled forehead. In 300 years of expansion, the Empire had never encountered anything like this. They had protocols for superior firepower, for advanced shielding, even for primitive species that fought with unexpected tactics. But this violated every principle of physics they understood. "Captain Chen," he said carefully, "what do you want?" "What I want is for the Empire to understand that humanity has been preparing for this conversation for a very long time," Chen replied. "Every ship you've logged, every technology you've catalogued, every tactical analysis you've made, it's all been carefully curated information. You've never seen our real capabilities." The tactical display showed more ships appearing across the sector, all human vessels, all previously unknown to Imperial databases. Sleek destroyers that phased in and out of reality. Massive carriers that seemed to be constructed from pure energy. Support ships that defied geometric logic, appearing larger on the inside than the outside. "Sir," Captain Vex whispered, "long-range scanners are detecting similar vessels throughout the sector. Dozens of them, all previously undetected." 15 seconds, Chen announced. Thane realized with growing horror that they weren't just facing a single anomalous ship. This was a coordinated revelation. Humanity was dropping the disguise they had maintained for decades, revealing a technological capacity that made the Empire look primitive by comparison. "How long?" he asked quietly. "How long have we been hiding our true capabilities?" Chen seemed to understand his question perfectly. "Since first contact, Admiral. 73 years of pretending to be a young spacefaring species, while we built an infrastructure you never suspected existed." 10 seconds. Thane looked around the command center, seeing the same realization dawning on every face. The Empire had been manipulated, guided, allowed to believe it was dealing with primitives while humanity prepared for this moment. "All Imperial forces," he said into his communicator, his voice heavy with defeat, "begin immediate withdrawal from all human-controlled systems." "A wise choice, Admiral," Chen replied. "Consider this a formal notification that humanity is no longer interested in being considered a minor species. We'll be in touch regarding new diplomatic arrangements." As the Imperial fleets began their retreat, Thane stared at the tactical display showing dozens of impossible human ships. For the first time in the Empire's history, they had encountered a species that had been playing a longer game than they were. The age of easy conquest was over.